Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. So it's Sunday night, at least for me. Maybe it's morning for some of you guys, but we are about to start a new week. So let's talk about what the biggest event is, and that is the FOMC meeting. What is Fed Chair Powell going to say, and how will that affect Bitcoin? Let's talk about it. Welcome, guys. Didn't stream this morning, but I'm streaming tonight, and I got something special to announce. I kind of pre-announced already, but I want to share a little bit more. But anyways, you have to wait. Bitcoin and crypto still trying to recover from a few days ago. We had a crazy sell-off with like Cardano, Solana, Polygon. Glad to see Polygon making little recovery. Some of you guys have been DCing, taking advantage of these low prices. That's the way to do it. But what can we expect this week? Well, right now, U.S. market, the futures market, is looking kind of even. And that's because everyone is waiting for, well, this FOMC meeting. Okay, so you could see this is the schedule for this week. Okay, we got a lot of stuff happening on Tuesday, not tomorrow. Tuesday, we have some CPI numbers. So what is going to happen with CPI numbers? I'll show you what the prediction is in a little bit. But that very important FOMC meeting, well, that is coming on Wednesday. And I'll be doing that live stream with you guys once again. We always have a good old time when we have one. But what is Powell going to say? Well, right now it's predicted that he's going to say no more rate hikes. 76% chance that there will be a pause. That's what everyone wants. That's what everyone wants. 24% chance was cut off. You guys can't see, but you do the math. 24% chance that there will be another hike, but I think it is finally going to pause. I thought the last one was going to pause. This time around, pausing. And the reason why people think it's going to pause, because the vice chair nominee said it himself. So this was like a few weeks back. In fact, it looked like we were not going to get a pause until he made a speech and said something along the lines of, okay, probably go pause, wait and see, and then determine what's going to happen, right? Tuesday's inflation data, the CPI data, will probably make help some determination for the next rate hike. But this is what is predicted, okay? If you look at our peak in the U.S., CPI inflation was at 9.1% and has been heading down pretty steadily, okay? So this week, we will get numbers for May. It's expected to go down by quite a lot. 4.9% down to 4.1%. Now, March to April, we only dropped by 0.1%. But core inflation actually went up. This is not measuring core inflation. But according to Cleveland Fed forecast, we should be seeing a huge drop with our inflation on Tuesday. Well, that'll make the decision-making of no rate hike or a pause easier on Wednesday, right? And if June, we see another big drop, well, then that means it's over. There's no more need for any more rate hikes, right? That would be awesome, spectacular. This is what the prediction is right now, that we will not get any on Wednesday, but come July, we may get a 25 basis hike once again. Then September, nothing. Then November, we actually get a cut. So we may see that pivot this year, before the end of the year. And that would be fantastic leading up to 2024, right? But here's the thing. July, we may not see another 25 basis point. We may just see zero. If CPI truly continues to go downwards, well, then that means there's no reason for the Fed to keep raising rates. Also, another motivation is the numbers. All these economic numbers are coming weaker and weaker and weaker. And we know banks aren't doing that well either. Commercial banking, even worse. So there's really no reason for the Fed to go up anymore. Really, they should be thinking about when to pivot, when to start cutting, right? Could be as soon as November. So yeah, that's what's happening this week. Tech has been rallying. Risk-on assets have been rallying. So if we do get a rate pause, which is expected, then we could see more rallying for sure, right? So that's what we want. But as for Bitcoin and crypto, right now, it's pretty obvious. Bitcoin dominance is surging, skyrocketing. I mentioned that, right? Even though Bitcoin took a little dip from all the SEC, Robinhood FUD, just a little bit, but Bitcoin dominance went up, ETH dominance went up by a ton because altcoins got weaker, right? This is another reason why you don't want to be too heavy into alts, even though most people know that during bull runs, alts run faster, right? But outside of bull runs, Bitcoin holds better and outperforms. And that's what we're seeing right now. Bitcoin dominance shot up like 3% within a single day, okay? But that doesn't mean it's time to give up on alts. I've heard from so many others over the last few days on Twitter. All these guys are saying alts are dead. It's time to sell alts. The U.S. is going to kill everything, right? Now, that's just not true. First of all, the U.S. did not dictate Polygon or Solana or BNB, or Cardano. These are worldwide projects, decentralized projects, not controlled by the U.S. Yes, the U.S. could cause a lot of FUD, but there has been FUD before, and we always get through it, right? And just because Gary Gensler declares something does not mean that it's actually fact. It's law. It's his interpretation of law, but doesn't mean that it is set in stone. A judge will actually rule on it, right? So it's not all lost, although it does look pretty bleak in the U.S., but again, does not mean that alts are dead. In fact, far from dead. If you look at where we are now in terms of altcoin dominance versus all previous cycles before, alts are much higher, have a much higher dominance than previous cycles. So even though it might look scary now, alts are still doing way better than ever before in any of the 4-year cycles that Bitcoin has gone through. So keep that in mind. But right now, as for Bitcoin, of course, is the big daddy. You can't ignore Bitcoin, and you shouldn't ignore Bitcoin. Whales are certainly not. They picked up since April 9th, so a couple months. Bitcoin's price have dropped 10%. There's no doubt. But what have the whales been doing? They collected 58,000 Bitcoins. Whales have been collecting basically 1K worth of Bitcoin per day for the last 2 months, adding close to 60,000 Bitcoins. This is what the whales are doing. So while retail people are panicking and pointing fingers and throwing a lot of FUD, the whales are laughing at everyone and keep accumulating more and more and more and more. I mean, that's what these guys do. They cause a lot of FUD. They may be pulling some strings. Maybe they're pulling Gary's strings. But what they're doing is accumulating behind the scenes. They're buying OTC, buying as much as they can, while retail continues to panic, right? But those of you guys that are not panicking, you're doing the same thing. You're DCAing. You're picking up while things are low. That's what you're supposed to do, right? And here, this measures, I mean, you guys can't see because of my camera. I'm going to remove it. Looking at right now versus before, we had some previous times where it was scary. Long-term holder balance sent to exchanges when long-term holders capitulated. And yeah, we have seen that in 2021 and 2022 several times, right? But not right now. So all this FUD from the SEC has not scared off any long-term holders. Long-term holders basically said, this is a nothing burger. Long-term holders have sent basically nothing to the exchanges to sell out, right? I mean, seriously, long-term holders continue to DCA. They are not fazed by this at all. And there's still so much goodness. The fundamentals of Bitcoin still continue to go higher and higher. Here's the mean hash rate, basically at all-time high. Here's another one. This is just a technical pattern. But MACD crossover on the 4-week. It's about to happen. When was the last few times this happened? Well, after recovering from bottom back in 2016. And then also back in 2021. And look at what happened both times, right? Pretty tremendous run. And Bitcoin is about to form it as well, form that crossover. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Also, from an adoption standpoint, the largest bank in Russia is about to offer crypto trading. Not just Bitcoin trading, crypto trading. Russia, of course, been hit with a lot of sanctions, but still, they are pretty much going all in on crypto right now. And you know other countries are too. I mean, again, this is why whales are accumulating behind the scenes. They know Bitcoin and crypto are the future and will continue to stock up and load up and build while the U.S., unfortunately, or at least Gary is trying to throw the U.S. back in the Stone Ages, right? While everyone else is embracing and moving forward. Yep. CZ also chimed in. CZ is like, why is the market going up and down? No one really knows. There's a lot of false narratives. Like Binance converted his holding to fiat. 1.3 billion of alts on Robinhood. I mean, basically, CZ says, hey, don't fall for FUD. A lot of people are claiming a lot of things, right? Manage your risk and stay safe. And he tweeted out that according to our data, last 24 hours, Binance net flow is 392 million, which sounds like a lot, but compared to their 60 plus billion of assets, relatively small. And he's like, for reference, we processed 7 billion net outflow one day last November. So there's some FUD about, hey, maybe there's a mass, bank run happening on Binance. That's certainly not happening. Actually, last time I remember when there was all this FUD around Binance and remember KuCoin and Crypto.com, right? This was after the FTX collapse. A lot of FUD and a lot of withdrawals. This is nowhere close to that situation. And then what else is there? Of course, these guys are being sued, like Binance, Circle. Well, Circle's part of Coinbase or similar, close working relationship. And others, even Kraken, all these exchanges, they are not fazed by the SEC. Well, maybe a little bit. Like the banks are scared. SEC gave banks a reason to kill these fiat on-ramp, off-ramps. But these companies are continuing to move forward and hiring, right? They're getting ready for war. Well, not just for war. For expansion and also for war, right? Kind of like Ripple. And I'm still waiting for that lawsuit to conclude in the near future, which will be absolutely fantastic. And Hong Kong is inviting Coinbase to the region despite SEC scrutiny. What did I say about China and Hong Kong? They want to go all in. So right now they are inviting Coinbase to move over there, right? Just shows you, again, other countries are so far ahead of the U.S. right now. UK, I'm hearing a lot of good things about UK. Now you got Russia, you got Hong Kong, you got other countries that's becoming so favorable to crypto when they start out being so negative. Now you got the U.S., which was the most favorable country for crypto, now turned into this giant FUD place, right? And no one knows what's coming next. But I know Coinbase and Binance and others will fight. Unfortunately, Robinhood did not. Robinhood took a knee even without being sued. Like, I got really pissed off about them because of that. And they delisted, which is why I think there was major sell-off for 3 particular altcoins in general. Yeah, not good. Not good. All right, that is pretty much it. The only other thing, I want to show you guys a preview of my fancy website here that I hired someone to create. Events with George. This is leading up to my big conference, which I'm calling a WAG 2024. So it should be sometime in April. Not set in stone yet, but the 2 that's coming up, one in July. I don't know what I'm going to call it, but right now it's called Network Night. And then one in September, that's Cypherpunk. So I'll be hosting and co-hosting 2 events that's coming up. And tomorrow on Monday, either Monday or Tuesday, I will give the exact details on how you guys could join me in July. It's going to be a huge networking party, Mandalay Bay in Vegas, in their foundation room on their penthouse floor. About 300 guests, very exclusive, 2-hour open bar, a lot of good stuff that's going to happen. And I'm going to invite others, other influencers, other influential people. Projects may do some announcements there. It's definitely a event you guys don't want to miss. So I'm going to release more information either on Monday or Tuesday. So get ready for that. And then in September, co-hosting Cypherpunk with the Project Flux, and that'll be in Fort Lauderdale. So that'll be pretty good too, on a much bigger scale. And that's all leading to WAG. In case you don't know what WAG is, we are all George. I was going to call it GeorgeCon. I'm going to call it just WAG 2024. And that will be the new thing going forward. All right. That's pretty much it. Let's do some Q&A. Oh, wow. I just realized I was muted this whole time. I just gave a really good answer about what exchanges to look at. Someone's asking about Kraken, and I said, well, there's Kraken, Gemini, and Crypto.com. So you could look at any of those, but Crypto.com, you got to watch out. They may be sued next. Helen, no, the stairs has not been resolved. You just saw the video from a few days ago, so things don't work that fast. Eli, I'm going to convert fiat to BDC. I can't use Binance to US if there's no fiat on-ramp. Should I close my Binance to US account? No. You could still do a lot of trading there. You could still deposit stable coins. It's still a great exchange. All right. I took myself off mute. Troy, Gary's dismissal of crypto despite market demand is economic treason. These actions are so criminal and corrupt, it's ridiculous. I agree with you. I agree with you. There's a lot of very angry people at Gary, and that includes Congress people. So I think it's just a matter of time he gets removed. There's a lot of pressure to remove him because he's just causing chaos. Any hope for Solana after delisting? Yes, although Solana is not getting delisted from Coinbase or Binance.us. Swapped almost all my alts for BDC. Now almost a whole coin or no regrets. Okay, well, congratulations. Hi from New Zealand. Hi. I don't know what that Smoid coin. I have no idea. You know, last time Gary canceled my stream. Hopefully he's not listening today. Can I get a shout out? It's my birthday. Crypto Surge. Happy birthday. Although I don't know your name. There's another shout out I need to give. I got an email recently. Shoot us. I got an email to give a shout out to someone, but I don't have the email anymore. I don't know what happened to it. Okay, yeah, I found an email. Shout out to Stony Burke. This is from Tanya. Shout out to Stony Burke. I'm glad that you enjoy my show, and I hope the best for you and your family. Caesar, no. Why would they give back the losses? I don't think so. Let's bring up this chart right here. Look at all these naysayers or aka losers in the chat. Like Manuel. Like, just because you got wrecked, just because you're feeling down, don't try to project to someone else. I was looking at the comments on my last video from this morning. So many angry people. Really, who they're angry at is themselves. But you got people that just don't understand or don't care to understand or just want to throw misery out at people. Okay. But point the finger back at yourselves. Fruits and veggies. Thank you. NFT Hero, good to see you on Twitter. Yeah, I'm really trying to grow Twitter now. And I saw Elon said that pretty soon you could run ads within your replies or something. I doubt it's going to be fruitful, but I do want to grow my Twitter, I want to grow my Twitter base following. So doing more on Twitter these days. I don't think Gary has ever said the words yes or no. That's pretty much true. The SEC and Gary have not, they just don't say yes or no to anything. They have not given any clarity because they don't want to. They don't want to at all. That's why they want to keep everyone on their tippy toes, basically, and keep guessing. And I don't know how they're able to get away with that. I don't think anyone else can get away with that other than the SEC. Fruits and veggie. Double the super chat because you messed up the first one. Thoughts on stacks? I don't really have thoughts on stacks. If you like smart contracts on top of Bitcoin, I mean that's pretty much what it does, what it brings. Then sure. They got a boost because of ordinals, because of NFTs on Bitcoin, right? ERC20 standard, and there's another standard. So there's more people that's more enthusiastic about building dApps on top of Bitcoin. But for me, I just feel like Bitcoin is a store of value. So, I don't know. There's other chains that's already out, huge, created for those reasons. Not so much for Bitcoin. Oh man, I got something in my eye now. So I don't know. I'm neutral, more positive than negative on stacks. Did Gary really short Bitcoin? No, Johnny, that was fake. He didn't short. He would not dare short Bitcoin. Al Jr. Crypto. If you want TA, you don't come to this channel. There's plenty of other guys as TA. Okay? TA works until they don't. I'm a long-term holder. I focus on the future. I focus on macro. I focus on-chain. I focus on fundamentals. Those are enough for me. If you want TA short-term, you want to know what to do short-term, follow plenty of other guys. But I would say more often than not, traders come to one conclusion. It's better to buy and hold than trade. Most people end up realizing after a while, had I just held, I would have made more than trying to outsmart the market. Do you think judges will be fair in these proceedings? No, I think they'll be fair. Just look at what's been happening with the Ripple case. Judge Torres, she's been very fair, very anti-SEC. So no, I don't think judges, I think some will be pressured, but some will just make the right call. Patrick, new member, welcome. Ray says TA did not predict this dip. Well, yeah, because you can't predict what Gary is going to do, for sure. Orange Lambo, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. I actually want to get Brad Garlinghouse to join. Him and Chris Larson. Had I followed, Fire King says, had I followed my own advice, I would have over nearly half of Bitcoin by now. So, sounds like you decide to trade instead of just buying and holding. This is a nice website. My camera's cutting this off. Am I buying the FOMC token? No. No, I am not. No, I am not. Australia has only suspended Pay ID. I can still purchase the card. Okay, that's good. What coins do you see great potentials, 10 to 20 or even 100 in the next bull run? There's a lot. Almost everything in the top 100 will do 5 to 10x. Okay. As silly as that sounds, or as simple as that sounds, a lot of them are still down like 80 or 90%. So for them to reach back to previous highs and move forward, 10x. 20x, 100x, harder. There'll be opportunities. There's a few that I know that, I'm holding on to. I can't promise that they'll do a 20, 50, or 100x, but they do seem like they have a lot of potential. Will Litecoin do a 10x? I hate to say it, Litecoin will probably do a 10x. Because others will do at least a 10x. So wonder if ETH will be called security next by Gary. I think he would have done that already. I think something's preventing him from doing that. So either the CFTC or something else is preventing him from doing so. Or he would have done it already. He could have done that first before going after the exchanges. How do you feel about the theory that BDC and XRP will be the only coins of clarity after a positive outcome for XRP? False. Very false. Mention 100x so I could put my lunch money into it. Again, I don't know about 100x, but the show that I'm part of, the Next Crypto Gem, created by Hourglass, and their token is weight. So I think they have a lot of potential because if the show gets huge and blows up, it's going to cause a lot of attention. It's going to bring a lot of people into crypto, become mainstream TV, and it could do a lot for the entire community. So, yeah. And that show will debut right around my network event, or AKA party. So there'll be a lot of good stuff coming in July. End of July, get very exciting, especially if the market recovers from where it is now. Even though it looks gloom and doom, but it's really not. It's still, Bitcoin's at 26,000, barely down from just a week ago. So, yeah, there's one. Fruits and veggies. All right, you already mentioned the double super chat. I mean, if you really don't want to give a super chat, don't give it. I'm not asking you to. So I'm not trying to sound cocky or arrogant, but you know, your $10 and $20, although appreciated, it's okay. I'll just leave it at that, without saying something that's gonna disrespect you. Do you think Filecoin will make a new all-time high in 2025? Yeah. Almost everything in the top 100 will. I mean, everything's down like 70, 80, 90%. Now, some have done better, 60, 70%, but most crypto is still down way, way, way from their all-time high. So just to get back up there will take 5 to 10x. So think about that. So again, a lot of people ask me, you know, what's your next 10x? Just take your pick. Even Bitcoin has a chance to do a 10x. And if Bitcoin could do a 10x, then everything else is way higher than that. Cosmos, you know, even the ones that were sold off recently, Polygon, Solana, Cardano, Polkadot. I mean, these are all 10x candidates. Lido, Hedera, Filecoin, VeChain, Near, ApeCoin, Algorand, Multiverse. Let's throw Stacks, Sandbox, Optimism, Phantom. I mean, these are all 10x candidates. Do you need me to call you out, Frozen Veggie? You obviously kept saying like it's a big deal. Your second super chat said, damn, you got double. Okay, so first of all, you're implying that, yes, I got double. Okay. And then you made another comment. What's that? What's the other comment you just had? You're welcome for the extra super chats, George. So are you like, and then you're now claiming that, oh, I never sent anything. Dude. Get over it. I appreciate it, but get over it. Okay? And stop pretending like you're not trying to make me say thank you to you for a double super chat by accident. All right. I think that's a good time to leave. Anyways, hopefully you guys have a good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. We'll see what happens this week with the FOMC meeting with Fed Chair Powell, and we'll see. We'll see. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.